This video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that I see people make that actually kills attraction. I'm going to show you how you can revert this energy, actually become more magnetic, and stop doing what actually isn't working. Now, the interesting thing about this is that some of these things I share, people believe subconsciously actually is going to get them closer to what they want. But in fact, it has the exact opposite effect. Now, the first one is one that is probably one of the things that people use and have no idea that it's actually repelling that which they want, and that is that of neediness. The energy of neediness is something that people do because somehow there's a belief that if I try to control, if I do these other things that are needy, but that it's going to actually get me what I want. This happens very often as well with that of what is called an anxious attachment style. So in general, there is anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and secure attachment. These are the 3 main attachment styles. And what people with anxious attachment style believe is if I try to control, if I go and try to fix this person, if I am this needy type way, then I will get that of the validation, the approval, the feeling of safety, or whatever the desire is. Now, the thing is that actually many times has the complete opposite effect. Have you ever been or met somebody that really, really wanted your approval, really wanted you to do something? A lot of times you can feel this if you're like going to a sales store. Go to a sales store and you'll notice that the person that is normally the least attached is normally the person you're going to be most attracted to. If somebody's like, can I please help you? Can I please help you? And they really want to help you, and it's coming from a level of neediness, and then what will end up happening is you're going to feel that energy and you're going to kind of back off. It's like if I was making this video and I was like, please like this video, please. And you were like, whoa, bro, just calm down, dude. But there's a different energy when it's like you're unattached from the outcome. Now, you could still have an intention. You can still have an intention, like me working that 9-to-5 job. If I were to go in and using the sales idea as an example, if I were to go into work and my intention were to connect to other people, my intention were to add value to other people, that's a very present moment energy. But if I needed to make my paycheck, if I needed other people's validation or approval, then it was a very different thing. Now, with this as well, let's look at this. This is a very simple way of understanding magnetic energy versus needy energy. Think of magnetic energy as also non-neediness. The degree to which you are not needy is the degree to which you are attractive. The degree to which you have needy energy is the degree to which you actually repel love. So the key to this is moving and letting go of the needy energy, which a lot of times comes from also codependency, codependent energy. And a deeper aspect of this is as kids, what many times happened is we felt like our needs weren't being met, and we would then tune ourselves to our parents and to our environment in order to get our needs met. So it's almost like there's a belief growing up that there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough the way I am. It doesn't feel safe inside my own body, so I must tune to my mom or my dad and somehow make them happy. I must please them, be the way they want me to be. And then what happens is even after childhood, we're then in relationships, years later, and we feel like, oh, I'm still tuning to my parents, even though now that parent might even be your significant other, someone that you're dating. And you want their approval or validation. You feel like you need them. And the key to this is realizing that a lot of times what happened here with neediness and codependency is as kids, we may have felt like our needs were not met. Our inner childhood needs were not met, and therefore, a lot of times we wire in a belief that there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me, and that in order for me to actually get my needs met, I must overcompensate. I must overcompensate, I must be perfect, I must make other people happy. And then what ends up happening is we get a self-fulfilling belief prophecy thing where we attract people that naturally can't meet our needs because it feels normal for our needs not to be met. And then we go through a whole process with that because it refuels the belief, oh, there's something wrong with me. Of course they can't meet my needs because mom and dad couldn't meet my needs. So we're like magnetized and attracted to that kind of energy for some reason because it feels familiar. So what is the cure to this? The cure to this, one of the most powerful things I could possibly share with you that's changed my life, is becoming aware that I had a very strong abandonment wound growing up where I felt abandoned, but like my mom or dad, in many ways I was like, my needs weren't being met, even though they were doing the best they could. And because my needs weren't being met, I then felt like emotionally and physically, not emotionally and physically, but in some ways, many people that have this abandonment wound, their mom or dad may have emotionally or physically left or abandoned them when they were kids. And then the story, the belief is made that there's something wrong with me. And then it's like, in order to get my needs met, being needy is one of the ways to do that. If I just like show the neediness and then try to grasp onto, and really what neediness is, by the way, too, it's attachment. Attachment. It's being attached to the outside environment in order to get our own inner child needs met. And that attachment is then what causes a lot of the pain. The Buddha says that attachment is the root of all suffering. And it is because we attach ourselves to things. We develop a story to believe that I must have this thing in order to be happy, and then we give a lot of importance to it, and then we end up resisting it. So the first biggest mistake that kills attraction is neediness. And the way to get from neediness to non-neediness is to actually look at the abandonment wound. To look at the abandonment wound if you felt physically or emotionally abandoned as a kid, and to realize that a lot of times, now what you might be doing is actually abandoning yourself. Abandoning yourself in order to try to get your needs met, and attracting people that really can't even meet your needs. So it's just constant cycle of refueling the initial belief that they leave, they don't stay, I'm not worthy to have somebody stay around or to be emotionally or physically present. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the way to a lot of times stop that is to stop abandoning yourself. And one of the biggest things to attraction that I've learned is like actually getting into my own frame. Feeling safe inside my own body, living according to my own integrity, to my own values, and letting that be the North Star of integrity, vulnerability, courage, self-acceptance, living by these virtues instead of codependency and the neediness and wanting everyone else to like meet my needs. So stop abandoning yourself. When you stop abandoning yourself, you realize that other people don't abandon you, because then you feel safe. It's like you're safe in your body. You develop a belief system. It's safe for me to be in my own energy. And then other people feel that off of you. Because remember, everything that you feel about you is being projected out. Other people feel that, and they're just replaying the same patterns that they feel off of you. We've trained people to treat us a certain way. And when we change our energy, we then have sometimes a different standard. That's the first, one of the biggest mistakes with this. The second one is also one that a lot of times people think they do. It's somewhat similar to neediness. It has a similar thread, but it's a different avenue that I want to talk about. That is the avenue of manipulation. Manipulation is something we do and we don't even know we're doing it. People pleasers, nice guys, nice girls, whatever you want to call that, those are mechanism that's used. So the other side of that, so you have people pleaser, nice guys. On the other side of that, you could say like narcissism and gaslighting. Sometimes this is ways that people get their needs met. Once again, a lot of this attraction stuff has to do with the non-neediness of not trying to, because it's really just that simple. The less needy you are, the more attractive your energy will be. Now when it comes to manipulation, a lot of times what people pleasers and nice guys, nice girls or whatever believe is they believe that if they're nice, if they please you, then they're going to get their needs met of validation and approval. This is something that I had to shed because my dad has been kind of like the people pleaser, nice guy his whole life. And I've seen it not necessarily work in his favor with my ex-stepmom, who was a narcissist. A lot of times there tends to be an attraction here because they're both playing on their own core wound. The difference is empaths, people pleasers, nice guys, they're very sensitive and can feel other people's energy. And one of the ways they get their needs met is they give, they're nice, they please in order to get back their needs met, which is normally the validation, the approval. Narcissism, they also want to be validated and approved of, but the way they do it is a little bit different. Instead of giving, they demand, they take, they gaslight, they emotionally manipulate. These are both two sides of the same spectrum, the same core wound. This is why this one tends to magnetize this one. Normally there's also like a certain level of boundaries that is like kind of blurry. And because of that, it's like somebody that's like a narcissist, that's manipulative, the people pleaser, nice guy, whatever, they put up with that because they believe they should, or they just want to get their needs met. People that really feel secure within themselves would be like, I'm not dealing with that, and they would walk away. They wouldn't even put up with it. But with this manipulation thing, the thing to realize this is there's an avoidance of vulnerability, and the cure to that is actually vulnerability. So for the first one, the neediness thing, the main core wound is the abandonment. The key is to stop abandoning yourself. The nice guy people pleaser thing, very common. It's like if I'm nice, but it depolarizes relationships. For a long time, I'd be dating someone. I would do whatever they want to do. I would change myself and try to fix them, because if I could fix them in whatever way and make them better, then I'd become indispensable. They would never leave me, which is also, of course, connected to the abandonment wound. But the people pleasing thing was like, it was hard for me to set boundaries with people. I felt like their happiness and other people's happiness was my responsibility. Because as a kid, you probably in your family felt like it was your responsibility to make everyone else in your family happy. Maybe you were the glue in your family that just glued everything and kept it all apart, because otherwise everyone would go freaking nuts. But the key to this is actually vulnerability. Because it's not the real you is not the people pleaser. Sometimes people think, oh, it's authentic for me to be so nice. No, because being nice is different than being kind. Being kind, you're kind because it's who you are. It's having compassion. It's not attached to the outcome. When you are being nice, it's because there's something you want to get in return. And a lot of times when you're being nice, if someone's not nice back to you, screw them. You won't say to them, screw you, because that would be scary. They may not like that. You don't want to feel what they feel. But if you were to tell them to go F off, that would actually be more authentic. But you might hold it back because you don't want them to feel bad about it. You don't want them to feel a certain way. So the key to this is actually vulnerability, expressing the real you, not bullshitting. Then people also feel safe. They feel like they can be around you, and they feel like they know what they're getting themselves into, and it's just a more solid energy. I remember like a year or two ago when I shed this pattern, it was like, it was so liberating for me to actually just, I had trouble expressing my emotions, expressing if I was attracted to someone, expressing like if I felt like somebody walked past my boundaries. Then all of a sudden I was able to express all these things. Became like a boundary ninja. I was like, boom, no, yo. Because kind of what happens, you go, no, at first. But it's liberating. And then you start realizing, what the hell do I want to do? What do I want to do? This isn't coming from a place of narcissism, like the world revolves around me, but it's being in your own frame and asking yourself that question more so than like, what will make this person happy? What will please this person? What can I say to be nice to this person? Being nice is manipulative. Being a people pleaser is manipulative. You're trying to manipulate them into giving your needs met, but it's not authentic. It's authentic for you to be vulnerable, to express the real you. Don't hold in shit. Don't be passive aggressive. And as you do that, you'll realize, whoo, way more energy comes to you. Now, the third thing that is also somewhat connected to these things that really changes everything about your energy is real simple, and that has to do with something called outcome dependency. Outcome dependency. The first one is codependency. The third one, outcome dependency. A lot of times, if we are focused on the outcome of things, it takes us out of the present moment, and it focuses on trying to manipulate the environment, or it focuses on the future or the past. And one of the most attractive things with energy is that energy is present moment focused. It's embodied. The energy is inside your body. If you're going on a date, for example, and your goal is, I'm going to sleep with them. I'm going to get their approval or validation. I'm going to get them to text me back. I'm going to get them to like me. That's called manipulation. That's outcome focused. If you're going on a date because you just want to have fun, You're curious to see if you have something in common with this other person. You're curious to see if you have similar values as them. That's a very different energy. The energy is completely different when you are going and you're not attached to outcome. And not being attached to outcome is also a little bit about trust. Trusting the process. Trusting yourself. Being inside your own body. One of the biggest things and like exercises that I recommend is putting the energy in your hands and your feet and feeling the separation between you and the other person even the person that you're dating. Because then you start to feel safe in your own body. When you feel safe in your own body, you're not so much attached to what they're doing, to if they're meeting your needs. But when you focus more on being present to the moment, it's a very different energy. Like if I were to make this video, and like this video has to be amazing, it has to have all these different nuances to it, I really hope it goes well. It's like I'm attached to the outcome, it's a very different energy. But if I'm like, I'm going to enjoy making this video, it is very different energy. If I focus on having fun, showing more personality, it's more expressive. Think about this. There's something called expression, impression. If you're focused on impression, you're focused on outcome. I want to impress them. I care and give a shit about what they think about me. If you're focused on expression, this one's because it's who you are and it's how you prefer to be. This one's because of what it will get you, manipulation. Expression is I'm going to express the real me. I'm going to be the vulnerable. I'm going to show my heart. I'm going to show who I really am. And as you set the intention to show those things, they may like it, they may not like it. That's okay. You're doing it because it's who you are. If you're being kind, it's because it's who you prefer to be, even if they're like little dicks about it. But if you're trying to you're trying to be nice because you want them to be nice back to you, it's a form of manipulation. And the way that you let that go is you realize it's not really authentic. A lot of times the nice guys and people pleasers, they say, well, this is just who I am. It's just authentic. It's not authentic to try to manipulate someone else to get your needs met. The key is to be vulnerable, to be real. Sometimes not everyone's going to like that because they've been used to walking on you for so long. But guess what? That's okay. Being the real you takes courage, but as you do that, I promise you, your whole entire energy will change. Now, something that is coming on August 15th is something called the Magnetic Mastery Membership. This is a simple monthly container of safety where we can heal, transform, be accountable, and connect with each other to transform into our highest vibrational selves. So if you want to elevate your vibration, if you want to raise your vibration, if you want to become the most magnetic you permanently without falling back into the old pattern, then go ahead and click the link below, sign up, and join the wait list, because that's when we begin this community, accountability, and coaching that we're going to be doing every single week. Every single week I do these live coaching calls. I did the first one for the founding members just a couple days ago, and it's so cool to put people in groups, to have them do some group work and breakout groups in Zoom, connect from all over the world. We had one group with 2 people from Minnesota, 1 person from South Africa, 1 person from Switzerland, 1 person from Germany. It was so cool. And they all had very similar things in common, and they were able to hold space for each other and able to realize different things about themselves. And in this kind of group work, so much transformation can happen. So if you ever wanted the accountability, the community, and the coaching from me every single week to become the most magnetic you, then sign up below. Click the link or go to www.magneticmastery.com. And also, it's only $29 a month. Cancel anytime. Isn't that crazy? That's what it'll be if it's not out already. So anyways, click the link below to check that out. Also, if you want a video that's going to help you to learn the power of letting go and why that's so damn magnetic, it's one of the most powerful videos I have. Check this video out right here. This video implies something somewhat interesting. First off, let me say that right off the bat. So it says 5 secrets to letting go that make you attractive AF. Now, when we talk about you being attractive, understand that there's a belief there that kind of implies